All right, what's going on? I have been a little MIA, so yeah, been doing a lot of work. Been a little frustrated actually. Thursday I took off because my family wanted to go have a day, which I always don't want to do, but it was fun. But then, geez, I hate taking time off, especially during the week like that, because yesterday and today were just a little bit more tough. I always think about this quote. It's, body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest. And I struggle when I take time off to get back into it. It just can be difficult. So, well, let's talk about. I want to mention reviews really quick. I don't know how much of a big piece of this I'm gonna have or I'm gonna want to do, but look, I think kind of Google's terms of service on reviews is just that you have to have some kind of interaction. So I just want to put out there, if there's anyone in any business, especially who's an SEO, and you're watching this and you want some reviews, hit me up, Josh at brightbeamseo.com, and let's talk and see if we can find a way to edify each other and potentially get some reviews out of it. And if I get enough people who are interested in doing that, then I'll start hooking all the people up together as well, and maybe we can find a way to make it even more interesting. Maybe we start doing some group calls and have somebody present for 10, 15 minutes or something. I mean, whatever. I just think, like, the funny thing about SEO is like most of us will never bump into the same potential client ever. So it's kind of ridiculous to consider people, I think, your competitors. But especially with a Google business profile, right, in your local area. So, and I'm kind of interested in testing that out as well. I don't have very many local Google business profiles where the majority of the reviews come from other areas. And I don't know how that plays into rankings, right? I'm sure somebody out there has seen this. If you have, just throw it in the comments. Right? Like, have you ever seen a Google business profile, or do you have one, or do you know somebody who has one that ranks well, even though the majority of the majority of the reviews are from outside of the area? So, yeah, cool. So I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, so start running some ads, see how those go. I think that has to be the way I go forward for the most part. I just don't get enough local stuff. I'm in too small of a market. Maybe it's just the time of the year. Maybe I can get more if I do local ads more, so I'm trying to do that. But as much as I like Google ads or run them for others, it just depends on the business you're in. And I haven't had a lot of success with those. I might try to run them again, but a plumber running ads in his home area is just competing with plumbers in his home area. But us, SEOs and stuff, right? Marketers, you're competing with everyone in the whole world, really. Anybody can run those ads and potentially have a customer out of your local area, right? So it's just different. So, but I'm testing some ads out. I want to see how that goes. This directory I'm building, that's going. Yeah, I sent out a few cold emails. I feel like I'm I've been doing some shorts, and I've been doing a little bit of Twitter, and I've been doing a little bit of Facebook, and I've been doing a little Instagram, and I've been doing long form content. I've been doing these videos. I've been doing, right, like some cold emailing and some, it just, I don't know. I'm kind of at this place where I'm asking myself, is it better to try to do a lot of things a little or just a few things? And I think I'm leaning towards the few things, right? I think it makes a lot more sense to try to just find something that works and do a good job at it and just keep going, because nothing works at first. I think that's the misnomer that a lot of people get caught up in, is this idea that you get excited about something and then you start, you see somebody else have success, you get excited, and success always looks simple on the outside. Because when you watch a video that does well or something like that, it looks easy. You don't realize the meticulous time and effort that went in to pick every word or to design every corner of a graphic, right? So I think it's, I'm kind of leaning towards this idea that I need to take one place or two places and just hit those. But at the same time, I don't want to cut the boats off and start moving towards something that ends up not working, right? It's this. So luckily, I've gotten a lot of clients this year, and it looks like I'm about to take on a nice big chunk of work. So that I'm excited about. But I also feel like I want to be in a place where getting new customers is at least leads. I want to be in a place where I'm getting consistent lead flow. I think that is one of the hardest places to get for most marketing people. People in marketing and just generally businesses that do marketing, because it's just such a, it's a really, really big, it's a really, there's a lot of people in marketing, right? It's a popular place to be. It's very competitive. And I think that's what keeps most people, the landing like your first big client. I think that's hard for people. I think a lot of people, though, who are in marketing and doing well, at some point they landed a client or a couple clients that helped them be able to take a breath, right? And to move forward and try to actually figure out the game. So I'm getting leads, but I don't feel like I have an on-off switch. That's what I want to have. I want to be in this place where I feel like I can turn on the leads and turn them off. And I think a lot of people that make content, they kind of approach it the other way. They kind of are like, let me show you how I'm going to get a bunch of stuff. And then you never actually see them getting any stuff. Like they just act like they know how something is going to work. I don't know if it's like hubris or overconfidence or just, I just think a lot of people are out here to try to teach things just that they don't know. They're not honest with themselves or with others. I don't know. It's really weird to me. But, it's this build in public thing. Everyone's talking about build in public, and I guess I've heard that a lot. I didn't realize how much of a big topic that is. I don't have time to like follow this stuff that much. But I was reading some stuff about build in public, right? It's like, yeah, sure, everybody talks about the problems they did have and what they did do and how they got over it and how, oh, now I'm here. No one wants to act like they're not successful. Everyone wants to act like they're successful, right? Like they're good at what they do, but you don't really have a clue if they are or not. You don't know who's in debt. You don't know who has rich parents. You don't know anything about people. And some people are just better at you know, convincing the world that they're good at something when they might not be or aren't. So, you know, that ability to be that convincing is interesting to me. I can't sell well until I feel like I can do a good job. So it took me a long time to get to the point where I felt like I could sell SEO well, because I had to feel like I could do and understand SEO well. So I spent a lot of time like doing SEO because I knew that until I felt like confident enough that I could help somebody, there was no way I was going to sell well. So for me, that's kind of tied together, because the better I can do, the more I can help people, the more people I've helped, the more that kind of starts to roll, then the more I feel like I can sell anybody because I can do a good job. That my confidence directly stems from my ability to do a good job. So, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that's a really good thing. There's like this Buddhist saying that's like, go do something for 10 years, then teach it. Everybody wants to teach before they know how to do it, right? And that's basically what influencer culture is. Let me show you how to do something that I don't know how to do. That's why, once again, I feel like everything out here in this world right now is just random ideas, facts, thoughts. They're not facts. Random words put together in a way that sounds good, right? They're all these lessons that you can learn that doesn't matter if they're true or not, or work or not, or have nuance or not. Just matters whether or not they sound cool enough for you to buy into them. So, yeah. So I think I like the build in public idea generally, like, but I think at the same time, I don't know how many people are actually genuine, right? And I struggle to be as open as I would like to be, just because it can be difficult, but I still feel like I'm a pretty open person. I'd probably tell most. Usually I feel like what I don't say is as a protection for the other person, so they don't have to hear certain things that they might not want to hear, not really for my own protection. So, you know, I would prefer to be honest and open. I think it's, I don't know, I guess I find joy in that. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at, what I'm working on, what I'm trying to do. And I got some customers coming on, so I'm going to be bringing them on. I got a couple locally, a couple nationally. I'm excited about that. And yeah, I don't know. I've been cutting back on the shorts content. I don't feel like I really understand that game or care about it. You know, I don't really watch a lot of shorts. I don't do a lot of shorts. I don't really care about shorts. And then just going at it, trying to do something every day that moves me closer to getting sales. Like I said, sending a cold email, starting an ad, cold calling somebody, anything that where the next step is a sales call is where I'm trying to spend my time. Today might not be a great day for me to act like I really know what I'm going to do next week, but that's where I'm going. That's where I'm trying to make sure I'm spending my time doing that, because I think I've got SEO locked down pretty good. I guess that's the other thing I'm doing. I'm running a lot of tests. I do think I understand generally how to do a good job at SEO and kind of what plays into that, but I want to have a deeper understanding. And I think where I've always struggled the most is to do these tests and then check back in on them after a certain amount of time. But now I have an assistant that I've been working with for a long time, and so I think I can keep that now, because now it's not my tasks that I'm doing, it's delegating tasks to someone else. So I've kind of just been trying lately to give my assistant tasks that are also going to be directly tied to some type of metric that we can check in on in 2 or 3 weeks and see if it had an impact. And I'm trying to isolate pieces out. So I'll bring these up. I think I mentioned this like local stacks thing that I found, right? And it had like an impact for a couple days, and then I went right back down. So I don't know if that, it didn't seem like it did anything really. I can check real quick. Let me just check real quick. I did just get that. I did just get a really big review too from that guy that I told the story of the other day that called me for help. And I told him I couldn't really, I told him he shouldn't invest in me basically, but what he should do. And I kind of gave him some guidelines. And he, man, he was just like so happy that someone would help him. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So I did just have a huge jump, but I've been getting a lot of reviews. Well, a few good reviews. Wow. I just had a 20% jump. So, okay. Maybe stacks is a little helpful. Now let me try this. Let me try one more here. This is the hard one. I know I'm not showing you guys this, but this one has been the hardest one for me to break into. Is the city, the primary city name of that I'm around, because I'm not in it. My address isn't in it. So it looks like I had a jump from like the 16 to 19 area up to like the 10s. That's kind of interesting. But I'm still not like very far broken in because my address isn't the main city. So I'm always like thinking, should I? Well, I'm going to keep trying the stacks. I'm going to try the stacks on a few other customers and try to isolate that a little more because, yeah, if that actually works to give me some kind of benefit, I mean, I'll do that all day. It's just like, link building inside of Google Tools, basically, right? One more. Let's see. Wow. Wow, dude. So, yeah, I jumped up. On almost every search over the last week, I jumped like 20%. Holy crap, that's insane. But I also felt like my pages that I created, I basically redid my entire website like 4 weeks ago. And I've been checking Google rankings, and it's all my old pages because I actually redirected some of my pages. I actually redirected a lot of my pages to some new pages, and the old pages have been on Google still, right? Like they hadn't been updated yet. Like the whole crawl hadn't been. Wow, that pisses me off. Actually, this does. So, and I've been building some links. It doesn't look like I'm ranking any better. Might be ranking worse on the SERPs. Interesting. Huh. Well, whatever. I'll keep updating you. That's crazy though on maps to have such a huge jump. I might be close to 30 reviews. I always wonder if at a certain number plus at a certain length. So, yeah, look, the stacks might have helped, but I got 3 super long reviews over the last few weeks, and I think Google freaking loves long reviews. Loves it. Also, Google loves reviews from really trustworthy sources. So when people have these really big local guide accounts, I think those crush for you, especially if a local guide account writes a long review. That is huge. I think that's huge. Well, this ruins my freaking other idea though, because I was gonna test some content. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna cut this. But yeah, look, if you're interested in talking about getting some more reviews and doing some chatting, hit me up or leave a comment. But you're gonna have to email me. People keep commenting on my other videos, and I give them my email address. They never send me an email. I don't think they see it. Just email me, josh@brightbeamseo.com. Unless you want to say stuff in the comments that then you'll never look at again. That's fine too. But it just no one ever responds again. So, all right. We will see you later. Peace.